have a Coke and just sit here beside me. I take a little of my heart again, so we can feel forever you feel. Together be real, together and no one can stop me when I taste that feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. To no one can stop me when I taste that feeling.
It's a warm welcome to this exciting edition of Coca-Cola L30. It's 2-0 out. Last week we were here talking about a tournament that started in 1989 with the likes of Peter Ndlovu, and we're Clone Copa talking to the legend himself. But away from that, we're tasting the feeling this week, and we're talking to the defending champions. They are talking tough ahead of this year's tournament. They say they have the pedigree to retain the championship, and also we will be talking to a legend of the tournament, a legend of Zimbabwean football, a legend of South African football as well. That's Tinashe Nengo Masha. He will be taking us back to those golden days back in the late 1990s where he was turning out for the Churchill Bulldogs. And believe you me, we'll also be at Nigel Phillip. That's the home of the Churchill Bulldogs, where they will tell us how they've done it. They've won it 4 times alongside Mzilikazi and Hippo Valley. We'll also try to find out from them what's the secret behind that success. This is Coca-Cola at 30. We're testing the feeling with the Coca-Cola at 30, an exciting tournament that started in 1989, and today we're at the home of the defending champions. That's Rusununguko High School from Mashonaland East, and they are talking tough indeed. They say they have the pedigree. Only very few teams have done it. Lord Malvern, we remember they won it for 2 consecutive seasons, and Rusununguko want to emulate that. We were at their training session, and here's what the coach and the players had to say.
Talk of schoolboy football and defending Coca-Cola champions Rusununguko High School will quickly come to mind after dazzling performances saw them power to a maiden crown in 2017. With last year's victory fresh in the minds of the Mashonaland East-based school, an air of expectation engulfs the school ahead of the launch of this year's edition on the 15th of May. A visit to the school's training ground depicts an atmosphere of determination as Rusununguko vies to imprint its name among sides that have managed to retain the title.
We started preparing for this tournament. During the holiday we were training every Saturday. We were playing teams like Mambas Juniors, Total Academy, Rua Academy, and I think these games they have managed to give us competition to the extent that the boys are fully prepared for the games. We are ready to conquer and we are ready to deliver. If Madrid can do it, why not Rusununguko? We are trying everything so that we can win the tournament for the second time. We are expecting nothing but to defend the championship. I hope it's just to bring back the cup to the school.
Like their head coach, Rusununguko High School students that will be part of the 2018 edition of the Coca-Cola tournament are confident work being exhibited in training will spur them to yet another Coca-Cola crown when the finals are held in Rishalane in July.
Yeah, beginning of a new era. Time is now our time to shine. Last year, I didn't make it when was a team Coca-Cola Katamba retain a win. But this year, no matter what, a partnership team, but I'll make sure I'll get it to the finals and win that trophy.
Though not part of this year's team, Ebo Maunga, who played a pivotal role in the 2017 triumph, has proud memories of the Coca-Cola tournament after being selected into the dream team that toured Durban. Maunga is now part of the FC Platinum's junior setup, with becoming a professional footballer, an aspiration that the lanky player harbors.
Prepare. Not every morning, I don't go 5Ks. Kienda ku bloater the 5Ks zuka. So I'm going to get up.
Nicknamed Zizo for the silky skills he often exhibits while turning out for Rusununguko, Oscar Magejo is another bright prospect, having already attracted the attention of FC Platinum, where he plays his junior football. Magejo will be another player to watch out for as Rusununguko gun for a second consecutive Coca-Cola crown. Magejo last year missed out on a trip to South Africa, but the pint-sized midfield maestro is hoping this time to flourish and be among the dream team that will travel for a training camp normally held in South Africa.
And we also the initiative play of the tournament to go into Kunze.
Expected to be strong between the posts for Rusununguko will be Felix Manyani, who surprisingly played as an infield player in his school's triumph in 2017. Manyani says he's inspired by Ronaldinho, who at one point played as a goalkeeper when called upon to do so.
When I started my career, I was a player, not a keeper. But when I came to secondary, I just said this since that the final go away on the my positions is. Because now I'm not a game, Ronaldinho went up a gate, of which was my role model. So I just liked it, and then I started to train as a goalkeeper. When I about one pain up and I'm when the nationals Coca. Last year I got a pain, my group stage. So then go far around, so didn't go play no go not my positions is.
Some have already been part of the glory, while others are set to make an appearance at the COPA finals for the first time. Odicity Matutu is among those that were not part of last year's winning team, but the bubbly character is clear about his desire to be a COPA winner.
In God I trust. Kwese nyanguzirese luziziya kuti memo schools ago nakawina. But vari kwanotamba mundidarika. But zvakafanira last year. My players edu akazonotamba final. Unga said that physically fit. Zviri pamunde kona kwana. But nekuti diki kudaro tikakwanisa kuiwina. Chichotarisa kudaro this year.
Away from Rusununguko's training ground is the administration block. At the front of the administration block is a fine work of art believed to have been installed at the school in 1981. The main corridor leads to the headmaster's office, where the COPA Coca-Cola crown is placed among an array of silverware. Though placed among several other accolades won by the school in different sporting disciplines, the COPA Coca-Cola crown remains a towering figure in the office. Deputy Headmaster Simon Tondori proudly looks at the silverware as he displays it to our crew before describing the atmosphere that engulfed the school after winning the 2017 COPA Coca-Cola title.
Our memories are so clear of that event because when the news filtered to the school that we had won, we could not control the kids. There was joy all over. Teaching staff, non-teaching staff, the kids at large, they were so happy. They were crying all over the school because it was one of those tournaments that we wanted to have at the school.
Mr. Tondori is clear about the positive image brought about following the school's COPA Coca-Cola victory in 2017.
We had so many inquiries from all over the country of people who wanted to come and coach even our team. They wanted to have their kids enrolled at the school. We were overwhelmed by this because everyone now wants to be at Rusununguko.
Having already tasted the feeling of winning such a prestigious competition, Tondori believes Rusununguko have the ability to reclaim the crown in 2018.
It's easy to win than to defend. We have to defend this cup at all costs. We are trying. We have been talking with the players to soothe them psychologically so that they are stable, so that we can keep the cup. We are trying, we are training, we are doing our best so that we try to keep the cup at the school.
After proving their worth in 2017, Rusununguko will be under the spotlight at this year's competition. And when the 2018 tournament explodes into life, the Mashonaland East School will remain among the favorites.
We'll be back with more. This is Coca-Cola at 30.
Have a Coke and just sit here beside me. I take a little on my heart again.
A warm welcome. This is a special edition of COPA Coca-Cola at 30, and we are trekking down the stars. We are joined by another legend of COPA, but not only a legend of COPA Coca-Cola, a legend at Chechu, a legend for Zimbabwe, and also a Kaizer Chiefs legend. That's Tinashe Father Nengomasha. And Tinashe, it's great to have you. A warm welcome. Let's start with your fond memories about COPA. Back then, what do you remember?
I remember coming here, learning here at Chechu. In 95, that was when I was doing Form 1, and I remember watching great players like Coca dominating, in the Coca-Cola tournament, which also ended up, giving me the inspiration to say, okay, one day I also want to do the same, to leave a legacy at this school. So, I've got fond memories, and it's a tournament which made me become a better player because of the stiff competition which we're facing from teams like PE that, your Tostao Kwashis. So, yeah, it was a great tournament, and it still is a great tournament.
And Tinashe, you've played for Kaizer Chiefs, you've also played for the national team and several other teams. But what's the value or the importance of having a background in COPA Coca-Cola?
It was important because there's a scenario which happened when I was playing when I was playing in this tournament where Steve Kwashi ended up taking me to Caps United. You understand? But then Caps, they still had your Alois Bunjiras and your Dumisani Mpofus. I ended up saying, no, the competition here at Caps is too much. Let me go back and play junior football at Aces. But I was actually, taken from the tournament to have such a a wonderful trial with Caps United.
And Tinashe, you've played alongside a number of great players, but going back those days at Churchill, where we are right now, what are some of the names that you played alongside with and probably who ended up making it out there?
I played with great players with Obey Mrefu, who was a goalkeeper for under 23. I played with Kelvin Mshanga Jike, Mrape, Norman Maroto ended up joining us when he was still Form 1 when we were playing in these tournaments. And I still have fond memories of those guys because those guys were still playing in the under 17 national team of Zimbabwe while playing in the tournament, in the Coca-Cola tournament as well. So they ended up also helping me because they were playing at club level, at Dynamos coming to school, and then they will be helping me with how I can improve my game, especially in this tournament. They really did help me a lot.
You played when it was under 20 a long time ago, Tinashe, but now it's under 15. Do you think it's the right move?
Remember now when you start at this tournament at this junior age, it's all about the basic stuff in football. We're talking about how to position yourself. The tactical aspect of the game is not that much involved. You understand? It's all about your technique and how you can outmaneuver your opponent, which is the most important thing. Because when you grow and then go into another level of play, let's say maybe playing at club level, then the tactical and also the psychological aspect of the game has to be developed in the player. So it's important for these kids, to realize that at the end of the day, they need to have, fun. They need to show what they are made of because they are still raw. So we need to see that rawness, and then at a later stage, they can be developed into becoming world-class players. I've noticed also, with some schools, there's issues of cheating, people are talking about that. So with the under 15, I think there's also a better chance of, playing the right age.
And Churchill is one of the most outstanding schools, having won it 4 times alongside Mzilikazi and of course Hippo Valley. What is it that is special about Churchill? We have players from Churchill playing for Dynamos at an early age like Norman Maroto, but what is it that is so special about Churchill?
If you look at history, Churchill has managed to produce quality players because of this tournament. If you look years back when I first arrived, like I said, I discovered that you had your Elasto Lungos, your Kuda Zinu, Masimbambuas. And taking us further, we had your Mrapes, your Kelvin Mshangashi case because of this tournament. So I think the history, they make players for not just the school, players who ended up playing for the national team and also proving and helping the country, to reach greater heights. But where they started, it was Churchill Boys High. So it's a very, good school with a rich tradition in this tournament.
And having played Tinashe in this tournament a long time ago, it has grown in leaps and bounds at 30 years now. What advice can you give to the organizers and of course the sponsors of the tournament?
I think they have to go an extra mile in terms of, facilitating stuff for the prize money, you understand, and also the pitch where the kids are playing. They need to make sure that everything is proper, because it will end up becoming something international, you understand. You can end up inviting school teams from your South Africa, like what they do with the Coca rugby at Prince Edward. You can end up inviting teams from even Europe, because Coca-Cola is a big brand and I know they want their brand to grow as well.
When you played, it was only a boys game, and now the girl child has been included so many years with the girl child. Do you think it's a correct move, and what is the value of having the girl child?
It's a very great move, and I'm actually grateful. It's my first time to hear this. You understand? Because we mustn't leave the girl child as well. You know, women, they are our mothers. You understand? They look after us. You understand? To be where we are, it's because of their mothers, and we need to empower them. If they can do it, if there's a World Cup being played for women, why not empower them? Why not Zimbabweans not empower our girls? You understand? In this tournament, and we're grateful and thankful, you know, to Coca-Cola for such a, you understand, for such bringing, you know, such an initiative.
Interesting stuff. Thank you very much, Tinashe, for joining us. We hope to catch up with you again. I know you are doing a lot of things, but thanks once again, Tinashe. That was Tinashe Nengomasha. They call him father. They still call him father. But I remember one commentator in South Africa naming him with his 3 names, Tinashe Washington, after a fine pass at Kaizer Chiefs. But we're talking about COPA Coca-Cola, a great tournament that started in 1989, 30 years on. This is COPA Coca-Cola at 30.
Have a Coke and just sit here beside me. I take a little on my heart again.
Nigel Philip, the home of the Churchill Bulldogs. This is where Tendai Beast Mutawarira was bred. And we can also talk of Derek Chisora, that's the boxer. Tatenda Taibu, the cricketer, also passed through Churchill. But we're talking football, and we're talking Coca-Cola at 30. We're talking of the home of Sifas Chimedza, Murape, and Norman Maroto, Elasto Capoeja. They used to call him Elasto Lungu. We can go on and on, but we are at the home of football. This is where the champions were born. This is where the champions were bred. 4-time champions. Let's find out what they've done.
Renowned for having produced some of the country's top footballers, Churchill Boys High School is synonymous for its excellence on the sports field. Distinct for its unique purple blazer, players such as Murape, Sifas Chimedza, Clements Matau, Samson Chorua, and Leo Kuraujuane have all passed through Churchill Boys High School. Any discussion relating to COPA Coca-Cola is incomplete without the name Churchill, an institution that together with Mzilikazi High School and Hippo Valley have won the tournament for a record 4 times. But what is the key to winning so many titles? Churchill sports director Paul Kaunda relays the key component to the school's success, the winning culture.
It's a culture. When you have a culture and when you have a system that you follow, obviously the results will come. If you lack culture and if you lack system and if you lack a tradition, obviously at the end of the day, whoever comes into the institution might end up doing whatever they want. But if there's a system in place, everybody comes in and follows the system. So at the end of the day, we're simply saying a circle system where we're talking of under 14s, under 15s, under 16s, under 17s, up to first team. So what it means is the circle is moving. Every year you have a number of boys filling in the first team, filling in the under 16, filling in the under 17. So at the end of the day, you can be able to win at every age group, resulting at the end of the day with a much bigger achievement.
Among those tasked with the responsibility of heading Churchill Boys High School is Patson Mugwanda, who explains how the Bulldog spirit helps spur athletes on the sports field.
We have built a brand that says we are winners, a brand that says we are the Bulldogs, and you know, the fighting spirit in the Bulldog, the tenacity that is engineered in order to stay at the top. Really, the culture that we've built is one culture that pushes all our teams to want to be at the top.
Churchill first won the COPA Coca-Cola title in 1992, before going on to land the title again in 1994, 2000 and the year 2008. Among the title winners is former Dynamos midfielder Eddie Mashiri, who has vivid memories of the triumphant year 2000.
The most one, it was against Mavuku. I think we won 5-0. That time, most of us as footballers, vamodi vangatanga vangasikade kunyanya kuya kuchikoro. So vanhu vakarova for a practice game about 2 days. So isusu we had a decider against mabvuku. Then the head akauya akatitaurira training zvikanzi, I think today you are not going home, you are going into camp. Then ndopandakatanga kunyasoona kuti this game is really ranga rine tension. Saka takapinda mukemp on that day. Zvansezvamboitika pachecho. Takapinda mukemp, then patazoenda kugame iroro. We outclassed them. There was the likes of Serge Paisandaka, he was playing Coca kumabvuku. It was a well game ranga rine intense, but we managed to win a 5-0.
After being part of the squad known as the Millennium Team, Mashiri highlights the important role played by then headmaster Dawson Mutsekwa in creating an environment that aided their success.
He was a person I motivated, and I think he used to love soccer. And his name was Mutsekwa. We used to call him, I think, Dust. Yeah. So adukunyepera, and he used to give us even some incentive in terms of food, in terms of accommodating us ku hostel sometimes. Saka the environment yakaita kuti even bora redu in those days tina kids kune bora.
Norman Maroto was a prolific striker in the Churchill squad of 2000 before breaking into the Dynamo's first team in 2001. 18 years after the gratifying experience of having won the COPA Coca-Cola title, clear in his memory are some of the tough duels that they had to go through on their road to winning the crown.
COPA Coca-Cola tournament was the tournament. Every boy wished to play in that tournament. I remember growing up, it was said for you to be written in the history books of high school soccer, you had to play Coca-Cola and to win it. For the regional tournament, I remember we were 1-0 down against Malawi, then I had to score the equalizer. Then late it was Chorua who scored the win.
With several players having come through the COPA Coca-Cola tournament, Mashiri and Maroto acknowledged the vital role that the tournament has played in developing Zimbabwean football talent in the school setup.
This tournament is very important because as a player, when you're playing at the location, it's not more like competitive. When you're playing with people that you know from other schools, the environment, it's like you're being called up for a duty for the national team. The environment changes, you start growing up even your confidence. And also if you look at even Anna Peter that time, look at him now, Mnepaka Zutamba. So it means Coca-Cola, they've produced a lot of players during this period. Yes,
there's one thing that I got to realize later after so many years, that Coca-Cola is a tournament not just for urban teams, but it involves the whole of Zimbabwe. So when playing in that tournament, you'll be rubbing shoulders with talent from each and every part of Zimbabwe, which makes it very special.
It has been more than a decade since Churchill last won the COPA Coca-Cola crown. And as the school prepares to take part in the 2018 Under-15 tournament, the headmaster Patson Mugwanda and team manager Amos Mavise are hopeful the current Under-15 side will ignite the winning spirit that has made Churchill a household name in schoolboy football.
We are building up to that. I guess it was not so much that we didn't play that well, but maybe we got the shock of our lives when competition just shot over the roof. Everyone else was competing at levels where really sometimes it's a question of luck, question of chance to get to win the COPA Coca-Cola Cup. The other reason really is we are sort of graduated. We have puppies, you know, the little bulldog, I mean, the puppies and then the bulldog itself. If Coca-Cola had stayed on as an under-19 tournament, we would still be champions. It takes a few years to groom a young boy into a bulldog. It is a process, but now we have learned our lessons. We have to do it very fast. We have to make it quick to engineer that winning spirit into them. So yes, we have acclimatized, and we should be moving at the top, which is our rightful position this year on. I can promise you fireworks.
This time around, we want to qualify for the national so that we win the tournament for the 50th time. We want to be one of the schools who's going to win the tournament for the 50th time. So that's what we are expecting for this edition of the COPA Coca-Cola tournament in Sichavani.
The current under-15 team, which will battle at this year's competition, is positive of conquering despite the stiff competition that is associated with the COPA Coca-Cola competition.
Inini ndinoti the 2018 COPA Coca-Cola tournament, we win this cup. Because of our training, and our confidence in the combination.
So far we've prepared, and I think we are looking forward to go to COPA Coca-Cola, and we are looking forward to win the trophy. Ndakatarisira kuti tinofanira kunge tichizotamba zviri tichibudirira kuenda kumafinals.
Tichitarisa kuwina COPA Coca-Cola nekubuda of the country drama trophy.
With stiff competition the norm at the tournament, Churchill are hoping for better fortunes and to be able representatives of Harare province at the national finals set for Sichavani in July. As Churchill High School reflects on what has been a successful road, the home of the Bulldogs remains a key institution in producing talent for Zimbabwean national teams and local top-flight clubs.
Everyone who has been to that school, including our executive producer for this particular program, that's Francis Nyamtsamba, walks with a swagger. Churchill Bulldogs, Nigel Philip, we're talking about how they did it. They are part of a rare cast of schools that have won the Coca-Cola tournament 4 times. Churchill High School alongside Mzilikazi and of course Hippo Valley. We are celebrating those schools and the stars. Coca-Cola at 30. We're back next week with more.